is up, everyone? Today there's a Ryobi 2-cycle. It's missing the air cleaner, and it's interesting, but I don't really know much about it. The person said it just stopped working one day. So let's take a look at it. That doesn't feel right. It feels like there's either way too much compression or there's a problem. I don't think it's the first one. So let's take out the plug. I'm sorry the background noise is too much, but apparently this has to happen today. Definitely looks like there's crap in there. It's like rust. So let's just do our process of lubrication. Put a nice generous dose of marble in there. Let's bring it around a little bit. Sorry, it's bit. So let's angle this away and give it a yank. Now, let us see if this is even worth it. Put a little fuel down there. The feeling, and because of how much marble we put in there, seeing how much came out, we may foul a plug. Use somewhere else though. There we go. It's a little safer. Right, full throttle would be a good idea. Well, that's exactly what we expected. Yeah, it's probably fouled, but that is to be expected. Let's take this carburetor apart. So the fuel lines actually don't feel too bad. I mean, they definitely could be better. They're not horrible. Is that not even the right side? No, it's not. Can we get the right one? Okay, round two. fuel in the tank. Yeah, the lines look brand new inside there. Very interesting. Maybe someone tried to clean it, or they thought the fuel lines were the problem. Look at that, already prepared. So, bottom is the left. It sounds kind of bad, but it's kind of wishing it was a junk motor. Then I could tear it apart and steal the piston and then start making these little piston guys with them. Okay, let's take this carb station. So I think the washer's in turbo mode right now, so yet again, sorry if the noise is too much, but I would have preferred to do this at a later time. The owner wants it back soon, even though it doesn't have an air filter cover. It's pretty stuck on there. Maybe the other side. Yeah, it's also pretty stuck on there. Maybe I figured why not turn the camera on. Even though it sounds like there's a rocket ship behind us. There we go. I think turbo is turned off. Gas doesn't smell too horrible, actually. It's kind of odd this thing has this carburetor on it. It's actually not too horrible inside here. Finally. Now that the jingle's over, I really don't want to have to buy a whole kit for this. I already have a diaphragm, but I don't have the gasket below. At least none that I know of. I'm trying to save it as much as possible just by kind of walking it off. A little tore up, but not too bad. That's going to be cleaned. Has every gasket on here is going to be super hard. Just need to find one area. I think I do have this one though, but no, I know I have this one. Just rip it off. I'll clean that up later. Let's take the O-ring off. And that is on the right, or the left, excuse me. Okay. This is definitely a dirty one. Still kind of surprised about those fuel lines though. Okay, let's hold this thing on. There we go. Perfect. No jets to take out. It's a fixed one. And clean this up, put in the cleaner, and bring it back. Oh man, I was getting scared there for a second there. I thought I actually didn't have this carb kit. That would have been just tragic. But this one is different. And it is needed. Oh, your battery's dying. So because it's different, we're going to save this gasket, which came off okay. We're going to save this one. Put that back in there. Anyway, cleaned off the surfaces pretty decently. It's not too bad. So, first things first, let's put the needle and everything back on. Last night I cut my finger right there. I was opening up a package. For whatever reason, what am I doing? I don't have the spring. The plastic that they used on this package was probably the same plastic that they make like the shielding for a spacecraft out of, because it was just insane. And then all of a sudden, whoops, cut. And then you had one of those moments where you're kind of concerned if it's going to start bleeding or not, and then you kind of just look at it, you look at it, you look at it. About 10 seconds later, nothing happens, and then you start moving, and then it starts bleeding. It wasn't too bad though, but I feel everything on it. Our silence has been removed from us. Apparently have to do more laundry. Anyway, yeah, so feel everything in it, and it's probably going to be like that for, I don't know, a week. Oh well. Let's put this on. One screw came with the washer, the other one did not, so let's just put it back appropriately. Okay, so can't quite remember. Yeah, this goes on first. And of course, if you ever have a completely flat surface, that usually tells you that the gasket does not sit on that surface, but the whatever corresponding piece it is does. That is not the right one, though. Well, good thing this one's still in good working order, because we're going to use it. These little flaps are kind of just like on and offs. They just kind of control the flow of fuel. And they're essentially a little fuel pump. So this has no markings on it except for function me or whatever, I don't know. So I don't know if it's the needle set right. I'm pretty sure it is. Let's see, what do we need here? We need one with a big ridge. So I carry packs of everything. This is one that's different, but if you ever find yourself doing this fairly routinely, these little packs are very convenient, because a lot of the time that's all this needs. Old one, new one. The whip is about the same. Now that's on there. Let's grab another primer bulb. Is this a big one or the small one? It is the small ones. Uh-oh. Do I not have any more of the small ones? I do, okay. So as a side note, I've only purchased the pink ones. All the other ones just come in kits. I save them. And I save them for purposes like this, or reasons like this. I'm not gonna lie and say that that is 100% necessary all the time. I'm sure that one's good. But just like a good habit to get into is just to change them. Just because they're good doesn't mean that they're gonna be good forever. Imagine I didn't change it, and then the person assumed that, or looked at it and doesn't even think that I did anything. Granted, obviously I am. Why is this not going in? There we go. But it's just kind of a nice little addition. You probably should be doing anyway. There's a lot of them. Not like they're going, you know, they're scarce in the garage. But it's like a little detail. It's nice to do. I was gonna go to the store and get a new pan today. At this point, this one's just too far gone. Make sure they're nice and snug. Not tight, snug. And we do that. We're going to have to put this idle back up. Yeah, because this piece was barely covering that screw. And it's better to have it too high than too low. We can always lower it. Makes it easier to start anyway. Okay, let's put this back on the machine and test it out. So, these fuel lines aren't that bad, but they are insanely dirty. And I've noticed that even though they're not bad, they don't really fit all that well. It's usually not a very good thing. So, let us take them out. This should be the return. Oh man, how long did they make this return? Oh wait, no, that's not the return. This is the return. We'll keep that for measurement purposes. This nonsense out of there. Oh no, it's not one of these. I hate these little adapters. That would explain why this was so hard to put in. Hard to get. Okay, so I'm going to get some lines and be ready. So the interior diameter was too big, but this one fits over there nice and snug on both of them. So this would be a good one. It's a fairly small inner diameter and a medium outside diameter. Okay, so a little hint. If you take a clean pair of needle nose and shove it through the end of it, the line, and open it up, that's a good way of kind of widening it temporarily, kind of stretching it out. And after that, you just slip it on real quick, and then it stays on there pretty good. There's this. In fact, this is probably going to be done right here. Like I said, clean pair. Just put it in like so. Spread it out maybe a couple times. And it goes on. Now, it's always kind of a sketchy part, but you have to put this back all in there. There we go. Fuel filter down into its little crevice. Very good. Now we do the same for the return. So we have this. Let's do a little longer. We'll put it right about there. Now we're going to do the same. We're just going to cut a little angle in it. Put our lube in there. And this doesn't have to go too far in. Maybe like a ½ inch. It could go all the way if you wanted to, but there's really no point. Now, I don't trust this gas in here because it's gas. People have a tendency of putting bad gas in, so let's see what we have here. So this is what came out of there. If you look at it, though, it has water in it. So we don't want that in there. It's pretty much dry, but just blow the rest of it out while we're here, you know? So this is the in, this is the out. You can tell by... Oh, wait, maybe not. Good thing. Yeah, this is the in, this is the out. Interesting. No, yeah. Okay, so let us oh wait, I need to get the gasket. The gasket didn't really come off very clean. So I have another one here. Just look and make sure it's the same. Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, no, it's not. The holes don't match. Well, I mean, it came off fairly cleanly. Let's just put it back on, I guess. So we don't risk getting dirt in here. Put this on. Oh man, that idle's gonna be rough to change. Can you even change it? Not really. Oh wait, that's because it goes like this. Ha! Sometimes it's the little things that get you. Okay, yeah, so all that should be very accessible. Let's put some fuel lines on. Nice and snug. Maybe I'm going to pull that return down a little bit. And even shorten the main line too. You do that very, very carefully. You don't want to strip out. I'm pretty sure you're screwing the plastic. It should be. No. Yeah, that was way too a little more, to a better angle. I mean, it probably could be like an inch and a half, inch off. There we go. Now, my last bit of pre-mixed non-ethanol fuel. Go through a decent amount. That's because where I live a decent amount of trees. So, my 1 gallon maybe lasts like 2 weeks. Not many leaf blowers are for cycle, and to be honest, I wouldn't want one. So far, so good. Ah, we forgot to put the gasket. I knew there was something. I knew it. Yeah, I could make another one. I just don't really want to. Let's see if this one works. It just looks a little not pretty, but it's pretty much the way it was before. Okay, let's put you in a different area and we will start this up. So if memory serves me correct, we might have a foul plug, but let's try it on choke, full throttle, see what happens. Maybe no choke. Well, let's try this again. It definitely doesn't really like idling. Some of that could be the fact there's no filter on it. Let me see if I have something to cover it at least. So, can't really keep it running at idle. Now, could just be that it's a Ryobi. It's not necessarily known for the quality. Personally, I'm not a fan. I've had a few of them. Well, one personally, I should say. And that one made me realize I need to just buy a better quality machine. And I have. Hence the reason I go Echo. But I want to see if the exhaust is just getting plugged or what's happening here. Yeah. Yeah, okay. You want to be very careful with these. They have a liking of braking. It's probably hot. Yes, yes it is. Let's just push you down a little bit here. Here, very, very hot. And it could also still be a carb. It's just the carb itself wasn't all that bad, and the carb is pretty expensive on this, if I remember correctly. And it's clean. I'll show you this. That, if it was a problem, would be pretty much black. I want to say though, I don't really run across clogged spark arresters too often. It can happen. Something that can also happen is there's this like kind of like a metal sponge in there that just kind of is there to help absorb some of the noise. I'm sure there's probably other purposes, maybe emissions. I'm assuming would be the only other reason, but that can sometimes be plugged. That doesn't look all that bad, but it can also kind of force the exhaust to build up at the port. Oh no, I see what the problem is right now. It's scored on the bottom pretty badly. I should have checked this from the beginning. I don't know if you can tell, but probably not with that plastic in the way, huh? But yeah, it's pretty much scored. This is not going to work, but at least I have the carb done, so that probably could be used on a different application in the future. So when a 2-cycle, first I want to say it can be running pretty at a higher rate of speed, and this is because of speed. Sometimes it can continue on, but once it goes to an idle, the compression becomes too low and it will just die no matter what you do. This is what happens, that exact reason. So I'm probably just going to put it back together loosely. I'm going to let it cool, probably do that tomorrow. I think I'm going to call it a day. But tell the owner, come and get it, or I can recycle it. Like I said, I make a little metal dude, so maybe if he doesn't want it, I'll take that piston out there, because it doesn't look too bad to get in there. So anyway, yeah, I think that's about it. Unfortunately, I can't really save this one. But if you like what you see, throw a thumbs up. Okay, anyway, if you like what you see, keep on watching. I'll keep on posting. If you think I can do something else, throw that in the comments below, but can't really do too much with the scored piston without replacing it. You can get a new piston, and sometimes the cylinder isn't destroyed. I've done that a few times. It's not the best thing you can do, but at least it saves the engine. So, who knows? But yeah, throw a comment below. I will see everyone later. Have a good rest of your day. Like I said, throw a thumbs up and definitely subscribe. I will catch everyone later. Bye.